Lifers and loved ones, welcome back to the channel. This is Biz, a Biz Lifestyle, and jumping right in as always, plans being laid, no games being played, money being made, and bills being paid as always, and we are about business. Jumping into the topic discussion, if you ever want to quit a job, do this. These are my 4 steps, 4 tips for quitting your 9 to 5. So let's get right into it. We are going to keep this short, sweet, and to the point. So let's go. Step 1, consider quitting as a real possibility, like embrace it as a reality, all right? Before you could ever walk something out, before you could ever take action on something, it has to exist in your mind first. I understand completely how this may seem radical. It is not going to be something that's supported by any and everyone around you. Not everyone around you is going to be taking on something like this, and I get that. But I'm in a season and in a place where I have a newfound appreciation for being bold, and fortune favors the bold. All right. So consider it as a real possibility. There is nothing wrong with having a skill, having a trade, being in the workforce, being an educated individual. There is nothing wrong with any of those things. All right. But if you are in a place in life where you can pivot and where you want to express yourself creatively, if you are interested in the possibility of being able to provide on your intellectual property, all right, if you are an entrepreneurial spirit and you want to pursue that, and again, your journey and your lifestyle, you are in a position where you could possibly consider taking on something like this, don't shy away from it. You know, you may even want to just keep it to yourself for a while, you know, kind of digest it, but think of it as a reality. You know, I feel like a lot of us grow up and are raised with the mindset of like, okay, you know, go to college, get a degree, get a job, buy a house, get a dog, you know, 2 or 3 cars in the truck. Like, I get it. However, that may not necessarily be the life that you want, or you may want it, you know, but just in a different way. So allow the reality of it to sink in and like exist in your mind for a time, okay? And loved ones, just to share a bit of my story, you know, I was in a position where I was working way too many hours. I was becoming like mentally fatigued, physically fatigued, and in retrospect, looking back on it now, the reason why that is because I wasn't nurturing my creative side. I wasn't feeding my creativity. Creativity is extremely important to me, like in my personality type and like the type of individual that I was. And it's like different things that I experienced and that I went through in life. Being able to be creative is a part of healing for me. And I didn't necessarily connect with that until I went on the journey. All right. I was working way too much, and I knew in pursuit of this and what I wanted to do and being able to share myself, I was going to have to make a sacrifice. And that's exactly what I did. Fortunately, again, I had a network. I had support. I had the things in place that I needed to be able to take that on and make that decision. It's one of the best things I ever did. I have absolutely no regrets about it, because not only did it have like a profound effect on me, like just as far as my life force and my energy and my joy, making sacrifices during that time and being on that journey, it taught me what is really valuable to me in life. It showed me who was really about me. It showed me who was really for me and who really wanted to see me excel in life. So many valuable lessons came from that process. Again, this is not a game. Like, I did not make this video lightly, but I felt confident to speak on it intelligently because I experienced something like this for myself. You know what I mean? Making the decision to say, I have to leave this behind in, you know, pursuit of my future. You know, present self started thinking more about my future self. And that's how I arrived here. And I have absolutely no regrets about it. And I can honestly say it's one of the best things that I ever did. It's one of the best things that I ever did, for sure. Step 2, cover your bases. Cover your bases. Do your research. For whatever the motivation or the inspiration is behind you wanting to leave the workforce, even if it's just for a finite amount of time, do your research on it. You know, be a strategist, be an analyst, you know, be realistic about it. You know, this is fact over feeling. You know, we have to apply the logic again. This is not a video that I make lightly. And I've been in the position where, I wanted to explore my creativity, and I knew that I was working in a way that wouldn't allow me to do that. So these are considerations that I had to make for myself. So this is why I feel comfortable to talk about it. Cover your bases. Do your research. If you have a life partner or a significant other, sit them down, have a real discussion with them. If you're obviously the main provider or the breadwinner in your household, or if you have a family and have children, it's not going to be as easy or maybe even attainable for you to just up and quit your job. And I understand that completely. So just cover your bases, and whatever it is that you're looking to pursue, do your research on it and find out if this is something that you could actually take on. Like, is this going to be a viable option for you and your family? Okay. Step 3, plan and prepare. One of the first steps to take would be to perhaps, create a budget sheet for yourself so you can find out exactly what your overhead is. Where is it that you can make some cuts or some changes? Where can you make some sacrifices? So that's going to be key, right? Fellas, if you're single and you're in the dating market, dating can be extremely expensive. You know what I mean? So you might have to take a step back from that, in the spirit of pursuing a goal or pursuing a dream or starting a small business or something like that, or getting that degree that you've been wanting to do. Ladies, the luxuries, the creature comforts, as I like to call them, we may have to make some sacrifices in that regard. And I definitely did. I definitely had to take a step back from a lot of the things that I enjoy and that I would indulge in. But what making those sacrifices taught me on the journey of quitting a job for the sake of pursuing a goal is, once I was better in a position to be able to attain those things again and make those purchases, I had perspective. They didn't mean anything to me anymore. It wasn't nearly as important. I was so filled and I feel so whole about what it is that I'm able to do that those things became less and less important. Definitely, not about keeping up with the Williams, the Smiths, the Joneses, any of that. It's about you and it's about your future. So that's another great lesson that, pursuing a goal taught me, was that those things weren't nearly as important to me as I thought they were. All right. And if they're there now, they'll be there later. And if not, so be it. All right. Planning and preparing, man. Just if you have a support system, you're going to need that. Being ready to make some sacrifices again, taking some steps back, those trips that you like to take a couple times a year, you may not be able to do, the concerts and, substantial purchases, fashion, entertainment, extravagant gifts for those that you care about and those that you love. You may have to cut back on those things, and that's okay. Again, for the greater good and for a time, if that's what has to happen in order, for you to continue to be able to fund your life, then so be it. Definitely, you're going to need alternate, income streams. You're going to need a side hustle, whether you do any type of day trading or anything like that, or like I said, you have a side hustle, whatever that may be, you obviously have to have income coming in to be able to, leave the workforce. So that's a reality. Okay. And take this opportunity to be able to share of yourself, share of your experience, and inspire others. That's something that I found for myself as well. Me embarking on this journey, it kind of allowed people to see what I was doing, and for them to possibly be inspired by it, and not to necessarily do the exact same thing the exact same way, but it planted a seed in people to be more connected to the things that make them happy and in ways that they could create for themselves as well. So that was very, very dope, very cool. Step number 4, implement and execute. Once you've, done your research and covered your bases, you have a plan put together, whether you plan to leave the workforce, like I said, for a finite amount of time, or if you're looking to be done, overall with the workforce, this is the time where you really take the necessary steps. You want to leave the workforce in good standing of your own free will. So please do follow up with human resources depending on the field that you work in, right? And you want to submit the proper paperwork. You want to make sure, that you're either, whether you're putting in a 2-week notice or you're submitting your resignation, you definitely want to do that. I'm all about looking good on paper, right? So this isn't about feelings or about, like I said, just up and quitting your job before you're frustrated. We've put thought into this. We've considered this. We've weighed our options. We made sure that we're able to sustain ourselves, because if you do this out of order, or if you just do this on a whim, it's going to take away from your ability to pursue whatever your goal was, because it's going to be tugging on you that you're not in the best position possible to take something on like this. Again, I did not make this video lightly. I have been in a position where I knew that the amount of time that I was working was preventing me from being able to pursue a goal. So I took necessary steps, made sure that I had a network and a support system in place. I definitely had, an income and a revenue. Like, I had funds coming in, and like I was able to be in a position where it wasn't taking up so much of my time, and I could still, do what it is that I do at a high level while, pursuing a goal. So keep that in mind as well. All right. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please drop it down in the comment section. Again, I did not make this video lightly. I kind of wanted to get straight into the point, but we could indefinitely expound on it. So let's start the conversation. If you have specific questions, drop it in the comment section, or you can send me an email as always at askbizlifestyle@gmail.com. That is askbizlifestyle@gmail.com. Much respect, much appreciation. Thank you so much for your time. Feel free to subscribe, share, and like. And as always, we'll see you on the next one. We out.